us. Today we are going to discuss back exercise and question answer of chapter first, growing plants. So students, please open your book. Page number 12. So I am going to start back exercise of chapter first. So first of all, we will do back exercise, multiple choice question. Which of the following is not required for germination? And one more thing, student, back exercise, we are having 5 options. But in here, in this PDF, I am taking only 4 options, A, B, C, and D. But in book, you are having E option also. So please delete that option. We will take only 4 options, A, B, C, and D. Okay. So first question, which of the following is not required for germination? So condition necessary for germination is water, air, and sunlight, but pressure is not required. So the correct option is option D, pressure. Pressure is not required for germination. Question number 2, which of these is not grown from seeds? Which of these is not grown from seeds? So correct option is rose. Rose plant is grown from stem, but pea, coconut, and cotton plants, these are reproduced from seeds. But rose plant, as we have discussed in a previous lecture, rose plant is reproduced from stem. So the correct option is option number A. Which one of the following does not damage crops? Not damage crops. So it is option D, manure. Manure will help in proper growth of crops. It will not damage crops. So the answer is manure. But pest, bacteria, fungi, these will damage crop, but manure will not damage. Question number 4. One of these fruit is dispersed by water. So dispersal by water. Which one is it? Apple, peanuts, lotus, balsam. The answer is option C, lotus. So lotus is dispersed by water. Lotus is dispersed by water. So these are the multiple choice question. Now the part D, we are having part D. The following vegetables has got mixed up, separate into summer and winter crops. So as we have discussed in a previous lecture about winter crops and the summer crop, the crops which are grown in summer are known as summer crop. The crops which are grown in winter are known as winter crop. Winter crop are also known as rabi crop, and summer crop is also known as kharif crops. So we have to make a table and separate into summer crop and winter crop. So what are the summer crop? Brinjal, pumpkin, and groundnuts. These are summer crop. These are produced in summer. They are grown in summer. Winter crops, cauliflower, pea, bean, cabbage. These are winter crop. These are grown in winter. So we just have to make a table and differentiate according to them, according to summer crop and winter crop. So brinjal, pumpkin, groundnuts are summer crop, and ground cauliflower, pea, beans, cabbage, these are winter crops. Part C, read the hint given within the brackets and write the difference between them. So we have to differentiate on the basis of the hint given in brackets. So the first, dry seed and soaked seed on the basis of size and seed coat. So we have to differentiate only on the basis of the hint given in a brackets. So what is the hint? We have to differentiate on the basis of their size and seed coat. So dry seed and soaked seed. Dry seed. A dry seed is smaller in size. A dry seed has hard seed coat. So dry seed, it is smaller in size and it is having hard seed coat. What is the seed coat? The outer covering of the seed, outer surface of the seed is known as seed coat. So dry seed is smaller in size and it is also having hard seed coat. Seed coat is very hard. So what about the soaked seed? Soaked seed means after dipping in a water, they become soaked seed. So after putting into the water, the seed absorbs some water and the size increases. Its size increases. So the soaked seed is larger in size. Soaked seed, what is the size of soaked seed? You can do this activity at your home. Take a seed of like bean seed, or you can take wheat seed and put into some water, and after some time their size will increases. So so the dry seed is smaller in size and the soaked seed is larger in size. And what about the seed coat? A soaked seed has a soft seed coat. Means after dipping into the water, after absorbing the water, seed coat becomes soft. Seed coat becomes soft. So these are two difference on the basis of their size and seed coat. So what are these difference? Dry seed is smaller in size, and dry seed has a hard seed coat. And what about soaked seed? Soaked seed is larger in size and it has a soft seed coat. Soft seed coat means the outer surface become soft after absorbing water. The second, a pea seed and a maize grain. So we have to differentiate between pea seed and maize grain. Maize grain. Seed leaves on the basis of seed leaves. Seed leaves. And as we have learned that seed leaves are also known as cotyledons. Seed leaves are also known as cotyledons. So pea seed consists of two seed leaves. A pea seed consists of two seed leaves, so it is dicot, means dicotyledons. Dicotyledons. A seed having two seed leaves. A seed having two seed leaves is known as dicot seed or dicotyledons. Dicot is the short form of dicotyledons. We have discussed about this when we are explaining the chapter first. So dicot is the short form of dicotyledons. So pea seed consisting two seed leaves, therefore it is known as dicot seed. Dicot. What about maize grain? Maize grain or wheat grain, they are having only one seed leaf. The inner part of the seed. We are discussing about the inner part of the seed. We are not talking about the leaf of a plant. We are talking about the inner part of seeds. Inner part of the seed which are having only one seed leaf is known as monocot. So the main grain, maize grain consists of one seed leaf. So it is a monocot. Monocot is the short form. The full form is monocotyledons. So monocotyledons, the short form is monocot. What are monocot seeds? The seeds which are having only one seed leaf. One seed leaf, monocot. Two seed leaves, dicot. So the pea seed is dicot and maize grain is monocot. So this is a difference between pea seed and maize grain on the basis of seed leaves. I'm again repeating, we have to differentiate on the basis of the hint given in a bracket. Only on the basis of hint given in a bracket. So we have to differentiate between seed and maize grain on the basis of seed leaves. Pea seed having two seed leaves, so it is dicot. Maize grain having one seed leaf, so it is monocot. Next, we have to differentiate between rabi crops and kharif crops on the basis of season. Season, the season, the time during which they are grown, the time period during which they are produced, means season. Season, in which part of the year they are grown. Rabi crops. A rabi crop is grown in winter, so they are also known as winter crops. Rabi crops are grown in winter. Rabi crop are grown in winter, winter season. Kharif crop. Kharif crop is grown in the summer season. Kharif crops are grown in summer season. Kharif crops are grown in summer season. So we have to differentiate only on the basis of season, season only. So rabi crops, winter crops grown in winter season. Kharif crops, summer crops, they are grown in summer season, only in summer season. So manure and fertilizers on the basis of source. Manure are obtained from cow dung, dead and decaying plants, animal or vegetable matter. So basically, manure are organic compounds, organic matter. They are obtained from organic. Organic means living or the waste of living beings. They are prepared, they are obtained from living waste or the waste of living things. Means cow dung. Cow is a living organism. So cow dung is the cow waste or buffalo's waste. Dead and decaying plants. The plants which are detached, the parts of the plants which are detached from the plants or the dead plants, gradually with the passage of time they converted into a black substance known as manure or the vegetable waste, animal waste. So in this way we can prepare manures. And what about fertilizers? Fertilizers are generally made up of chemicals. They are made in factories, in industries. So generally made up of chemical such as urea, nitrate, and sulfates. So fertilizers are generally made up of chemical such as urea, nitrate, and sulfates. So fertilizers are inorganic substance. They are made from non-living objects like some chemicals such as urea, nitrate, and sulfate. Manure are obtained from cow dung, dead and decaying plants, animal or vegetable matters. Next, a coconut seed and dandelion seed on the basis of seed dispersal. Seed dispersal. Coconut seeds. Coconut seed is dispersed by water. Coconut seeds having a floating ability. It can float into the water. So it is dispersed by water. Dandelion seed. A dandelion seed is dispersed by wind. Wind. Dandelion seed is dispersed by wind. Means moving from one place to another place. What is dispersal? Scattered or spread from one place to another place. So the coconut seed is spread from one place to another place with the help of water. And dandelion seed is a lightweight seed. It is having wing-like structure and very lightweighted. So it can easily float into the air. It can float into air, and the moving air is known as wind. So the dandelion seed is dispersed by wind. Coconut seed is dispersed by water. So these are the back exercise. So part A, B, and C are the part of back exercise. Now I'm going to start short answer type question answer. Okay. So what are the different way by which plant reproduce? The question number first, short answer. So what are the different ways by which plants reproduce? So plants can be reproduced from seed and the other part of plant like stem, root, leaves, and spores. We have discussed about reproduction from seed, reproduction from other parts in detail. So it is a short answer question. So we have to write only the name. The plants reproduce from seeds and the other part of a plant such as stem, roots, leaves, and spores. Question number 2. What are the different parts of a seed? Different part of seed are the outer hard surface, it is called seed coat. The inner part is known as seed leaves. Many seed having only one seed leaf and many seed having two seed leaves. Embryo. The baby plant start growing in between seed leaves is known as embryo. So embryo is the first stage of, means we can say the starting stage of any plant. But this is the inner part of seed, and it lies between seed leaves. So a seed basically having three part. The outer hard surface is seed coat, the inner part seed leaves, and in between seed leaves we are having embryo, baby plants. We can say baby plant, but it is lies between seed leaves. So any seed having three main part: outer part seed coat, inner part seed leaves, and in between seed leaves we are having a baby plant, and that baby plant is known as embryo. So these are the part of seed. What is germination? What is germination? It is the process of development of seed into a seedling. So development of seed into seedling means when we buried the seed into the soil and it take proper amount of air, proper amount of water, proper amount of sunlight, it will start producing into a baby plant. And this process is known as development. This development process is known as germination. So what is germination? It is the process of development of a seed into a seedling. Seedling means the small plants, and that process is known as germination. What are the conditions necessary for germination? What are those conditions? The necessary conditions for germination are water, sunlight, and air. We have also discussed about these necessary conditions in an activity. And I give this activity to you for your homework. Of many of the students perform this activity at home. So what are those conditions? Condition for germination are, necessary condition for germination are water, proper amount of water, sunlight, and air. If a seed does not obtain any of these conditions, the seed will not germinate properly. If a seed is getting water, is getting sunlight, but not getting air, or it is getting only water, it will not germinate. If seed is having sunlight and air, it does not have any water, it will not germinate. So it will germinate, it will grow properly if a seed having proper amount of water, sunlight, and air. So these are the necessary condition. Give example of plant that reproduce by spores formation by the process of spores. So mushroom, ferns, and mojis, these are the plants which are reproduced with the help of spores. So now I'm going to explain long answer type question. Describe the different type of seeds. So basically there are the two type of seed, the seed having single seed leaf and the seed having two seed leaves. So those seed which are having only one seed leaf are called monocotyledons, or we can say monocot. For example, maize, wheat, and rice. The seed of wheat, rice, and maize having only one seed leaf. That is why they are known as monocot seed, or we can say monocotyledons. Mono means single, means one. Cotyledons means seed leaves. So those seed which are having single seed leaf are called monocotyledons. So monocotyledons or monocot, the seeds that have only one seed leaf are called monocotyledons. For example, maize, wheat, and rice. These are the example of monocotyledons seeds, or we can say monocot seed. Dicotyledons. Dicotyledons means dicot seed. These are the type of seed which are having two seed leaves. Two seed leaves. Di means two, cotyledons means seed leaves. So two seed leaves they are having. That is why they are known as dicotyledons. And the example are gram, pea, and beans. So seed of gram, pea, and bean having two seed leaves, therefore they are known as dicotyledons. The seed that have two seed leaves are called dicotyledons, or we can say dicot. For example, gram, pea, and beans. So this is the difference between monocot and dicot, or we can say the two type of seeds. What is seed dispersal? Name two agent of dispersal. So what is seed dispersal? Means spreading away the seed from the parent's plant. Parent's plant means the plant which produces the fruit, which produces the seed. That plant is known as the parent plant. And spreading the seed away from that plant or the very far off places is known as seed dispersal. The process of spreading of seed away from the parent's plant is called seed dispersal. Spreading of seed away from the parent's plant is called seed dispersal. The two agents of seed dispersal are wind and water. So wind and water are the two agents, means the two way by which we can disperse the seed. Also there are so many other type of method are there, other type of agents are there by which we can spread the seed, by we can disperse the seed. But in your question, you are asking only two agents. So two agents are wind and water. And what is wind? Fast moving air. So fast moving air is known as wind. So seed can be dispersed by water, they can be dispersed by wind. Question number 3, what are the basic requirement for obtaining a healthy crops? So we want to grow healthy crops. So basic requirement are as follow. Farmers should have knowledge about the soil, climate, and the season. Basically, farmers are producing crops into their field. So they must have proper knowledge about the soil, what kind of soil they are using, the climate means the weather condition, and the season, whether they are growing in winter season or in summer season or in rainy season. They have the proper knowledge about soil, climate, and the season. The second point, farmers should sow healthy seeds. They should put the healthy seed into the soil. If the seed are not healthy, they will not germinate properly. The healthy seedling will not be there. If the seedling are unhealthy, crop will not be healthy. The crop will damage very soon. So the farmer should sow healthy seeds. The third point, farmer should mix right amount of fertilizer in the soil. Many a time we are using excess of fertilizers. If we are using excess of fertilizer in the soil become too much acidic and it will damage the soil also, and it will affect the water also, and ultimately it will affect the crop. The healthy crop will not be there. 3, what are the basic requirement for obtaining healthy crop. So farmers should have the knowledge about the soil, climate, and the season. Farmers should sow healthy seeds. Farmers should mix the right amount of fertilizer in the soil. Farmers should supply the proper amount of water in the soil when required. So many a time we are watching that if we supply excess of water to the soil, it will affect the crop. Crop will damage. So proper amount of water should be there, not in very less amount or not in excess amount. The water should be given to the crops, given to the plants in a very proper amount. So these are the basic requirement for obtaining healthy crops. Now the question number 4 is, why do farmers use fertilizers? Why they are using fertilizers? Farmers added fertilizers, means add fertilizers to the soil to increase its nutrient. And as we all know, what are the nutrients? Nutrients for soil, nutrient for plants. Plants need nitrate, sulfate, potassium. So these are the type of nutrients. And the fertilizers are having nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So farmers add these fertilizer to the soil. This help in the proper and the healthy growth of crops. So fertilizers are having nutrients, and these nutrients are required for healthy crops. So that is why farmers are using fertilizers into their field. How do farmers protect their crops? Question number 5. How do farmers protect their crops? So we have to protect our crops. Farmers protect their crops by using insecticides, pesticides. These all are chemicals. And these chemicals are used to kill some harmful bacteria, harmful microbes, fungi, which damage the crop. So to protect from microbes, from bacteria, from fungi, farmer use insecticide, pesticides, and fungicides. All these are used to keep away the insect, pest, and microbes that can damage the crop. So to keep insect and pest and microbes away from the crop because they will damage the crop, farmer use insecticide, pesticide, and fungicide. So students, this is the topic for today. So what we have explained today, we have explained back exercise, short answer type question, and long answer type question. Hope you get this explanation. If you are having any doubt or any query, you may ask your question